A train driver suddenly spotted a girl dashing desperately toward the oncoming engine. He quickly pulled the emergency brake lever. Fortunately, the train came to a halt just moments before it would have hit the girl. Thankfully, she had only passed out from shock. From other children, he learned what had happened. Moments earlier, the kids had witnessed a mountain landslide. A huge, thick tree had fallen across the tracks. The kind children knew all too well that if the train did not stop, the consequences would be disastrous. So they had plucked up the courage to stop the train to honor the 3 children for their brave act. The railway company held a special award ceremony in their honor. From that day on, waving at the passing trains became the happiest part of the children's lives. At first, only the howling wind answered their greetings. Then one day, an elderly gentleman in the rear carriage noticed them. He turned out to be a senior executive of the railway company. Gradually, the children became friends with the old gentleman. Later, the children's mother came down with a bad case of influenza. The doctor gave them a list of foods that would help her recover, to help their mother get better as soon as possible. The children spent all their money on the items on the list. They ate nothing but the cheapest bread themselves. Even so, the money was still far from enough. The next day, the thoughtful elder sister came up with an idea. She took a bedsheet from home and wrote a few large words on it. She planned to ask for help from the old gentleman on the train. The old gentleman stood quietly at the end of the carriage as usual. But this time, he saw 2 children holding up the sheet together. He understood at once that the children must be in trouble. After all, the 3 kids had once saved the railway company from a terrible disaster. He was determined to help them. The elder sister waited at the station and met the old gentleman.
I'm so sorry to disturb you on your train. We feel we know you a little from waving so often. Please, take this.
Thank you, my dear.
He opened the envelope. In the letter, she explained the family's difficulties and attached the doctor's food list. She solemnly promised that she would pay the money back to him when she grew up. As the old gentleman read the letter, a gentle smile spread across his face. He admired the children's sincerity and kindness. Before long, a man named Pax arrived in a hurry, carrying a heavy, large box. Pax began to tell the story of how he had met the children, but the kids were so focused on the box that they paid no attention to him. Seeing that no one was listening, he fell silent. The little brother mistakenly thought Pax was asking for a tip, but kind-hearted Pax simply wanted to help these poor, lovely children.
Right, well.
The next day, the old gentleman stood at the rear of the train, as usual. The children told him the good news that their mother was feeling much better. The old gentleman smiled with great relief. He was glad his help had pulled the family through a hard time. One day, a foreigner arrived at the station, looking anxious and speaking a language no one could understand. The children thought it sounded like Russian. Remembering that their mother also spoke Russian, they took him home and asked her to translate. It turned out the man, like their mother, was a writer. He had returned to find his family, who had fled into exile in Britain. When the old gentleman heard about this, the elder sister hesitated for a long time before plucking up the courage to ask him for help. She begged him to find out where the writer's family was living. The children's kindness touched the old gentleman deeply. Before long, the old gentleman arrived with exciting news. He had found the writer's family address. Everyone rushed off to tell the writer at once, unintentionally leaving Pax standing alone.
Come on, Pax, you must come too.
Don't call me Perky.
Pax always spoke sternly, but his actions were full of kindness. When the elder sister got home first and told the writer that his family had been found, the man's eyes filled with tears of gratitude. Full of thanks, the writer said goodbye to the kind family and got into a carriage to reunite with his loved ones. The mother could never thank the old gentleman enough for his help, but he just smiled and waved it off, telling her not to worry about it. Kindness, he said, is passed on. Once you give it away, it travels from one person to another. In truth, the family had not always lived in the countryside. Only a few months earlier, they had been living a happy life in London. On the little brother's birthday, their father had given him a toy train as a special gift. But that ordinary night, the family's fate changed completely. Their father, always fair and honest, was suddenly arrested for treason. Like 2 strange men, the children were confused and kept asking where their father had gone. Their mother held back her tears and hid the truth, only comforting them gently, saying their father was busy with official business and had to go away on a trip. Soon after, she told the children they would sell all their furniture and move to an old house in the countryside. She told them it would be a game of pretending to be poor. The mother tried her best to stay strong, but the kind elder sister saw right through her sadness. One day, the elder sister came home as usual, only to find the front door tightly closed. She pushed it open and realized it was a wonderful birthday surprise prepared by her family. Everyone gathered around and sang the birthday song to her. The younger sister's gift was a pencil she had saved up her pocket money for a long time to buy. The little brother gave her his favorite toy train, filled with sweets. Unfortunately, the train was broken, but the kind elder sister did not mind at all. She knew it was the most precious gift her brother could give. In return, she decided to fix it and give it back to him. A sister's love for her little brother, she went to the railway and asked the workers for help. Although the workers did not know how to repair toy trains, they were happy to help the kind girl. And so, the workers fixed the train. When the little brother unwrapped the layers of white cloth and saw the brand new toy train, he was overjoyed. Just then, the younger sister suddenly asked Pax when his birthday was. He said it was on the 15th of the same month, but he quickly fell quiet, looking a little sad. He had been so busy caring for the family and the children, caught up in daily chores, that he hadn't celebrated his birthday in ages. The 3 children took his words to heart. One day, their mother successfully sold a manuscript, and the family planned to have a nice meal, but the elder sister asked if they could wait until the 15th to celebrate. She wanted to give the meal to Pax, who would always help them. Her mother happily agreed, but a simple meal felt like too small a birthday gift. The children thought hard about what to give Pax. Then the little brother had an idea. Pax was kind to everyone in the village, so everyone would surely want to send him birthday wishes and presents. The children set to work at once. On the 15th, they collected a cart full of gifts. The cart was filled with the villagers' sincere gratitude and blessings for Pax. But when Pax saw the cart full of gifts, he became very angry. He said he did not want anyone's charity. The little brother explained that it was not charity, but heartfelt wishes from many people in the village. This only made Pax angrier. At that moment, the elder sister could not hold back any longer and spoke up. "Dear Mr. Pax," she said, "even if you no longer wish to be our friend, we will always think of you as our dearest friend, and we cannot take these gifts back, for they are not just presents. They carry everyone's blessings for you."
Mother's label first. It says, "Little clothes for Mrs. Perks's children." I can't do much because we're poor ourselves, but I'd like to do something because he's so friendly to you. The pram's for Mrs. Ransom. It was bought for my daughters first. Sadly, he died and she never had another. It would be a help for Mrs. Perks's little girl.
I'm not sending the pram back, Bert, so don't ask me.
I'm not asking you anything.
Pax's eyes slowly misted over, and tears threatened to fall. He had never expected that he had won so much love and care without even realizing it. The 3 brother and sisters turned to leave, feeling disappointed, but Pax suddenly called out loudly and stopped them.
All right, take it all back. Everything I said that you don't like.
You are the most aggravating man.
So, staying to tea?
After the meal, the family saw the 3 children off. For the first time, Pax waved goodbye to them voluntarily. The next day, Pax stopped by and brought the 3 children a pile of magazines. Once again, kindness had come full circle in the warmest way. But then the elder sister noticed something shocking. Her father's picture was in the newspaper. He had been found guilty of espionage and sentenced to 5 years in prison. She hid the newspaper and confronted her mother. Faced with her daughter's strong emotions, the mother finally told her the truth. Their honest, kind father had been framed. Someone had been jealous of his fairness and felt he stood in their way, so they had falsely accused him of treason. The elder sister was furious. She picked up her pen and wrote another letter to the old gentleman. She believed that with his influence, he could find out the truth. Before long, a reply arrived from the old gentleman. He wrote that the case was making progress and invited the girl to meet him at the station. When they met, the old gentleman said she need not have written. He had already seen the news about her father. He firmly believed that a man from such a kind family could never be a traitor. He had asked her to come, to tell her there was hope of reversing the conviction. But he warned her not to tell her mother yet. Sometime later, the morning sun shone warmly. The 3 children suddenly realized they hadn't gone to the railway to greet everyone in a long while. They hurried to the tracks at once. Luckily, the familiar train came by shortly after they arrived. But something was different. Everyone in the carriages leaned out, waving and calling out to them enthusiastically. The old gentleman was the most excited of all. The 3 children looked confused. What was going on? But the elder sister had a strong premonition. Her brother and sister decided to go home and tell their mother the strange, wonderful thing that had happened. The elder sister walked alone toward the station. Along the way, everyone smiled at her kindly and greeted her warmly. Even a woman who never smiled before gave her a gentle smile. When she reached the platform, the station master said something inexplicably congratulatory to her. Pax soon followed, also offering his congratulations.
You know, I don't think I've ever been so glad of anything. One thing I must do in a day like today, no offence.
No one would tell her what was going on. Then the very train she had once saved pulled into the station and came to a gentle stop. A familiar figure stepped out tall. It was none other than their father, whom they had missed and longed for day and night.